Exercise your willpower to change direction. Set some higher goals. Reach for some higher purpose. Go for something beyond what you thought you could do. Face all your fears. That's how you conquer them. Say, here's what I'm afraid of. I wonder what I could do to change that. Pick a new destination and start going that way. Now, you can change one little degree at a time, or if you want to, you can revolutionize the whole thing. Who says you couldn't revolutionize the whole thing in a week's time and start a brand new direction that will most assuredly help you arrive in a brand new place a year from now, 3 years from now? No telling 5 years from now where you could arrive. Use your willpower to start the process. Anybody can change. You don't have to repeat last year. Clean up the errors. Invest it now in the next year. Watch it make the difference.
I want you to know when you dream your dream that there are other people who are dreaming the exact same dream. When you said to yourself, when the ball comes down, this is what I want to accomplish. You're not the only person that wants to accomplish it. And now I ask you this question. What do you do when 1,000 other people want exactly what you want? What do you do when you're not the only one that wants to make $1 million in your company? You're not the only one that wants to be a CEO. What if you're not the only one that wants what you want? What if there are thousands of other people who want what you want? You have to outwork them. You got to outgrind them. You got to get up. Understand something. You can have it if you want it. But the bigger the dream, the harder the grind.
We're taught in football to fight from the first whistle to the last whistle. It doesn't matter how tired you are. It doesn't matter how much pain you're in. And it doesn't matter what that scoreboard says. You give it everything you got. And I know I've been through a lot in my life. Things that most people would give up going through. But as long as I have breath in my lungs, I'm going to fight for the life I deserve. And for the life that my family deserves. And I challenge you, whatever you're going through, it doesn't matter what you're going through, to leave it all out on the field.
If you want to live extraordinary, you must do extraordinary. But you must demand it. If you wish it, you must demand it of yourself.
We all have problems. What I'm trying to tell you is this, though. Don't be consumed with them. Problems are a part of life, but guess what? They're not life.
Inside of every single problem that might be causing you to worry and creating stress for you is a gorgeous opportunity to build an even better business or build an even better life or install a better belief.
So the secret to real happiness is progress. Progress equals happiness. And if we can make progress on a regular basis, we feel alive. So if you want to make real progress, then you really got to look at your life in a different way. You got to say, I got to take control of this process and not just hope it's going to work out.
You got to keep picking yourself up and reaching for it.
You can get through this. You will get through this. You must get through it. You are going to get through this.
You need to get outside your comfort zone. It's not about taking risks. It's about getting outside your comfort zone.
When did you define yourself? I mean, really, how many years ago did you come up with what you could and couldn't do in your life? How many years ago? So often in our lives, we've adapted to be a certain way so that we don't fail or so that people will like us or respect us, but it's not necessarily who we are.
It doesn't matter how you get knocked down in life, because that's going to happen. All that matters is that you got to get up.
Can't turn back the clock, right? The only thing you can do is learn from it, and hopefully you'll never make the mistake again.
And for anybody who's on the downside of advantage and relying purely on courage, it's possible. It's possible.
Think of the 3 biggest discouragers in your life. They're not your biggest discouragers.
You did something wrong, don't let anybody take your mistake and use it against you. Even if it's a mistake, it belongs to you. It's yours. Own it. Yes, I did it. Throw it back in their face. And don't let them take your mistake. Your mistake, it's a valuable tool for growth and for life. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's better than to do nothing and learn nothing and not evolve. Your mistake is your greatest opportunity. And if somebody's making fun of you because you made a mistake, don't go down because of it. If you say, so what, to their face, if you say, yes, so what, they are powerless. They are powerless. Yes, I messed up. Tomorrow it will be another day. Next year will be another year. It is my mistake, not yours. You have your own.
Let me tell you something. If tomorrow wasn't promised, what would you give for today? Forget everything else. Forget everything else. Forget that there was any sunlight left. What would you spend today thinking about? We get one opportunity in life, one chance in life to do whatever you're going to do, to lay your foundation and to make whatever mark you're going to make, whatever legacy you're going to leave your legacy. And it's found through effort. Wins and losses come a dime a dozen. But effort, nobody can judge effort. Because effort is between you and you. Because every day is a new day. Every moment is a new moment. So now you got to go out and show them that I'm a different creature. Now!
Every dream starts small. FedEx, the first night in business, you know how many packages they moved? 15. Let's not forget that Richard Branson started off with a little college newspaper when everyone laughed at him. Every dream starts off small, but you want to start and move it forward each and every day. And while everyone else laughs at you and criticizes you, pay no heed to them. Keep on moving your dream forward, because there is something magical about sticking to your dream longer than anyone around you thinks you have a right to stick to that dream. Starting with a little dream like building your business and saying, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to talk to people and I'm going to take risks and I'm going to work on myself and I'm going to be extraordinary. Because the days slip into weeks, the weeks slip into months, the months slip into years. Before you know it, 5 years have gone by. 1 year has gone by. Well, 1 year is going to go by anyway. Why not get there world class in this business, world class in your life?
There's a misconception about failing. You have to fail a lot. Yeah. You know, you have to fail early, you have to fail often, and you have to fail forward.
Fall forward. Early on in my career, I auditioned for a part in a Broadway musical. I didn't get the job. But here's the thing. I didn't quit. I didn't fall back. I walked out of there to prepare for the next audition, and the next audition, and the next audition. But I continued to fail. Fail and fail, but it didn't matter, because you know what? You hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut. So you will catch a break, and I did catch a break. Do you have the guts to fail?
If you're not willing to fall on your face, you can't create at a high level.
To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
It takes guts to believe. And if you think something's going to do it for you without you putting your guts on the line, you might as well forget it right now. You're so scared of failing, you don't even want to get your hopes up. And if you don't get your hopes up, you might say, well, what if they get their hopes up and somebody gets disappointed? How many disappointments have we experienced in our business careers and in our lives? The difference is some people take disappointment and let it destroy them. Other people take disappointment and let it drive them. And you get to choose. Are you going to turn this thing into why it didn't work and a bunch of stories and excuses? Or are you going to take this thing that didn't work and figure out what are you going to do to make it work? And it may not happen the first time, the second time, the third time, but the people that are relentless find a way. what I hope is people watching the stuff, maybe something in here will piss them off enough or remind them of something or say there is a plan and it isn't just luck. And if I just get my big enough why and I keep learning and keep moving forward, I will get there.
Leadership is not a rank. Leadership is not a position. Leadership is a decision. Leadership is a choice. If you decide to look after the person to the left of you and look after the person to the right of you, you have become a leader. You've seen the movie 300, right? The Spartans, the greatest fighting force of all time. You want to know one of the things that made the Spartans great? It was their shields. They stood shield to shield, and the phalanx was strong because those shields were big. And they were told when they were young children, you either bring your shield home or you come home on your shield. Because if you lost your shield, that means you cannot protect the person to the left of you and the person to the right of you, and you have destroyed the phalanx. It's the shield that matters, not the spear. It's your willingness to sacrifice for someone, to hold that shield up so that they feel safe, that makes you a leader.
2005, I had one of the most tragic injuries ever. I got to fight my fight. It's about fighting our fight. It's about understanding I'm going to make the play or I'm going to watch the play be made. It's simple. It's a man on the man every time we play the game. It'll never change. Fight through fight. It's our fight to fight. 1 and 6 doesn't define who you are. What defines who you are is what you do when you 1 and 6. Give everything you got today, not because of the scoreboard. Knowing you gave everything you had. That's why no matter what nobody on the outside says, fight your fight.
A long while ago, a great warrior faced a situation which made it necessary for him to make a decision which ensured his success on the battlefield.
Everybody's not willing to face rejection. Everybody won't take the controversy. Everybody won't take the heat. Everybody won't hold themselves to a higher standard. It takes courage to act. Part of being hungry when you've been defeated, it takes courage. This is an opportunity for you to grow. You've got to be so relentless. You've got to stand up inside yourself sometimes and say, shut up! And I got what it takes. This is my day, and nothing out here is going to stop me.
Recycle your pain. Get something from it. You already in pain. Use it. Do something with it. Allow it to take you to the next level. Allow your pain to push you to greatness.
It doesn't matter about what happens to you. What matters is, what are you going to do about it? You can decide that you're going to stand up to life.
And embrace whatever comes to you. Don't run from it. Step toward it. Don't try and duck it like most people do. See, most people want it easy. Easy come, easy go. See, but when you go at what you're going to deal with and you deal with the difficulties of it, when you handle those hard things close at hand, making those hard decisions right now that you don't want to make, learning those things that you don't like to do, but you know that in order for you to get where you want to go, this is one of the hoops that you have to flip through. So if it's hard, then do it hard. How do you hang in there during the hard, difficult times, Les? You must have faith. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your abilities. You've got to believe in your service, your company, your ideas, unquestionably. You've got to have faith, and that faith gives you patience. That is not going to happen as quickly as you want it to happen. A lot of things are going to happen that will catch you off guard. And so therefore you've got to deal with and handle it as it comes. And not only that, but that faith and patience drives you into action. You've got to keep moving and keep plugging away. Some people, ladies and gentlemen, they stop because they don't see instant results. It doesn't happen quickly. They stop. Oh, no. You've got to keep on watering your drink. The harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. Oh, it's sweet to you. It's good to you. Why? See, when it's hard and there's a struggle, see, what you become in the process is more important than the dream. That's far more important. The kind of person you become, the character that you build, the courage that you develop, the faith that you're manifesting. Oh, it's something that you get up in the morning, you look yourself in the mirror, you're a different kind of person. You walk with a different kind of spirit. People know that you know what life is, that you have embraced life. You knew it was hard, but you did it hard.
Greatness. It's just something we made up. Somehow we've come to believe that greatness is a gift, reserved for a chosen few, for prodigies, for superstars. And the rest of us can only stand by watching. You can forget that. Greatness is not some rare DNA strand. It's not some precious thing. Greatness is no more unique to us than breathing. We're all capable of it.
The world is like a ride at an amusement park. And when you choose to go on it, you think it's real, because that's how powerful our minds are. And the ride goes up and down and round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud. And it's fun for a while. Some people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to question, is this real, or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us, and they say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid, ever, because this is just a ride. Ride. But we always kill those good guys who try and tell us that. You ever notice that? And let the demons run amok? But it doesn't matter, because it's just a ride. And we can change it anytime we want. It's all in a choice. No effort, no work, no job, no savings of money. A choice right now. Between fear and love. The eyes of fear, once you put bigger locks on your door, buy guns, close yourself off. The eyes of love, instead, see all of us as one. It's just a ride.
4 o'clock in the morning, I wake up. 4:30, 4:45, I'm doing some sort of cardio. Open these garage doors. It's still dark outside. I do this, and then I'll have breakfast, and then I will go do all my strength and conditioning training at a gym for about an hour, and then I'll go to set.
We all average probably about 5 hours of sleep.
It's 4:45 a.m. It's still dark outside. Look at that. The lights just went out, and I'm getting ready to kill this AM cardio. You can't even see me, but it's going to be so good. It's bad. Focus!
If you do anything, you never want to do anything half-assed, especially when it comes to your training. Get in, be intense, execute on it, and then get out. For a lot of guys out there, and I was certainly one of those guys, in my 20s, I thought I had all the answers, didn't know shit. By the way, in my 30s, I'm still trying to find myself, as a lot of guys are out there. Hopefully when you hit your 40s, you're hitting a nice stride. If I'm going to do it, I need to do this job right. I need to stay focused on it. I need to give the best effort I possibly can.
We live down here in South Florida. It's hurricane season. Focus! But when it's time to go to the gym, we got to get to the gym. And there ain't no stopping us.
It's like I'm going to be the baddest motherfucker walking it.
All right, empty gym, the way we like it. It's Sunday. Just finished my warm-up. This pain ought to be fun. Focus!
I work out twice before everyone wakes up.
All right, workout number 2. I'm out working all my competition. All right, Saturday afternoon, empty gym, the way we like it. It's leg day, which means it's going to be sweaty, painful, and fun.
And one of the most important things that I've learned along the way is the value of time.
So it's understanding what your skill set is,
finding the right place to use those skills and then going for it.
What kind of a story can you tell in 1 minute?
That ability to get myself up in the morning, no matter how tired I was, to push myself through those pain barriers.
You know, hard work pays.
Continually find more ways to use our time while trying to find more ways to save it.
You know, I have the saying, work like someone's trying to take it all away from you.
You see, you can't actually save time. You can just find different ways to spend it. So when you say you don't have time to do something, you're really saying that you're using your time for other things. One cool thing about time is that it continues on at the same pace, despite how busy.
The more authentic and honest you are in your interaction with the world, both professionally and personally, the better you will be placed to do the kind of work which will touch others and move their hearts and minds. Because if you mean it, the chances are it's going to mean something to somebody else.
I remember after losing the 100 meters, someone said to me that, he said, don't worry, Muhammad Ali lost his last fight also, so don't be stressed about that. And for me, I've proven myself year in, year out throughout my whole career, and I don't think one championship or one race or the fact that I didn't end my last race is going to change the fact of what I've done in the sport. I've seen too many people retire and come back into the sport just to really make it worse or to shame themselves. So I personally feel now I won't be one of those persons to come back. I've proven to the world that you can do it. You can be the great without doping. So hopefully the younger athletes can look at me and see. And that's one of the things that I want to help also if I get a chance to be here on athletics, to preach to the younger kids from a younger age and explain to them the work and what I've been through. Thanks for being a part of this and watching my journey and helping me to build and so on and so forth. So I just want to thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Sometimes people don't have the determination, the will, and the steadfastness, the tenacity. They give in under the slightest struggle.
Really viewed myself as particularly talented. I viewed myself as, slightly above average in talent. And where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. While the other guy's sleeping, I'm working. While the other guy's eating, I'm working.
Hard work pays. I put in a hell of a lot of work. Hard work pays. I'm sitting at the top. I put it all on the line. I show up, I perform, and I get the results from that.
And discipline, doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. Always testing yourself and forcing yourself to the limits.
You have to have some ability, but then it's just how much will. I really do think there's just thing people underestimate. It doesn't sound sexy. It doesn't sound cool. How much do you want it? Work ethic, and just how badly do you want it?
That's what success in general is all about, sacrifice. From my experience.
Every damn person who said I wouldn't be anything, I'm crushing them every day.
No man. So the question is, how much time you gonna waste?
For the past 33 years, I've looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. About a year ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. I had a scan at 7:30 in the morning, and it clearly showed a tumor on my pancreas. I didn't even know what a pancreas was. The doctors told me this was almost certainly a type of cancer that is incurable, and that I should expect to live no longer than 3 to 6 months. My doctor advised me to go home and get my affairs in order, which is doctor's code for prepare to die. It means to try and tell your kids everything. You thought you'd have the next 10 years to tell them in just a few months. It means to make sure everything is buttoned up so that it will be as easy as possible for your family. It means to say your goodbyes.
I've got one question for you. If you could have your goal right now, would you take it? Would you even be able to handle it? Think about it. Really envision, visualize, think it through. What is it that you want? Are you ready for it? Have you become the person worthy of it? Could you handle it? If you could have your goal right now, would you take it? See, that's a tough question. It should be easy. The answer should be yes, I'll take it right now. Give it to me. But that's the problem. It can't be given. You've got to go out there and take it like it's yours, like you own it. But are you ready for it? Have you worked for it? Have you put the time and the energy? Have you become a person that's qualified for it? Of course, it all starts in the mind, truly believing that you deserve it, truly believing that you are capable of having it. But it takes work. Have you put the work in? Every day, are you working towards it? If you could have your goal right now, would you take it? How does the achievement of your goal affect you, affect your family, affect the ones around you? Would you take it? Could you handle it? Are you prepared for it? Are you prepared for all the change it's going to bring? Because when we want more out of life, we get more of everything. We get more money, we get more impact, more influence. We also get more problems, more criticisms, more conflict, more controversy. People doubting you, people telling you you're not ready, people saying that you're not the person to be doing this kind of work, people saying that you're not the real deal. There comes doubt with that. And of course, doubt within yourself and doubt from other people who are very close to you. Are you ready for that? Because it's coming. Have you built the relationships that can help you get through the storm? Do you have the systems in place, the personal, the business, the emotional systems in place to help you see yourself through the storm? Because most of the time when you're going after what you want, most people will not be able to relate to you because they're not doing that. Most people are going for what's right there in front of them. Most people are playing it safe. Most people aren't chasing anything down. But you are. You've decided to. You know that there's something more. You actually look forward to putting something in front of you. that keeps you driving forward. If you want something, nobody has the right to talk you out of it. If you want something, you go out and get it. My question is, are you the person who's ready for it?
She said to me once, I wish you would just kill yourself. You're such a burden to me. I think I was 9 when my mom drove me down to the deepest part of Baja California. And she walks me up to an orphanage and she knocks on the door, and the guy comes to the door and she says, I found this kid. And she left me there for 90 days until my grandmother could get out of her where she had dumped me, and my grandmother came and rescued me. My mom beat me every single day of my elementary school years with things you could imagine and a lot of things you couldn't. Every day my back was bloodied and scarred. I had to wear 3 t-shirts to school each day. First t-shirt because the blood would seep through, and second t-shirt you could still see it. Finally, the third t-shirt you couldn't see any blood. Kids at school, they'd make fun of me. Hey fool, it's 100 degrees. Why are you wearing 3 t-shirts? And then he stopped speaking, so overwhelmed with emotion. And he seemed to be staring at a piece of his story that only he could see. When he could regain his speech, he said through his tears, I wore 3 t-shirts well into my adult years because I was ashamed of my wounds. I didn't want anybody to see them. But now I welcome my wounds. I run my fingers over my scars. My wounds are my friends. After all, how can I help heal the wounded if I don't welcome my own wounds? The measure of our compassion lies not in our service of those on the margins, but only in our willingness to see ourselves in kinship with them.
Just fed up. I was fed up working for somebody else. I was fed up taking the scraps that somebody that didn't even know me is giving me. I'm working for you, putting in five days a week, 8 hours a day. You tell me when I'm gonna eat my lunch. You tell me when I can take a break. Go back to work, do it again. And it was cool, but it was like, if I had 16 hours of my day that I could focus on this, how much better would I get? Like, how much determined would I be? Like, because everybody wants the bright lights, but nobody prepares for them. I could die right now. Something could happen. This building can fall in on this interview right now. We just gone, just dead for no reason. So why would I spend a second of my life doing something that I don't want to do? So whether that makes me a rapper where I'm living in the Hamptons or living under a bridge, I'm gonna live with the consequences. I ain't trying to say I wish shit unless I'm looking at a birthday cake.
Every soul who comes to earth with a leg or two at birth must wrestle his opponents knowing it's not what is, it's what can be that measures worth. Make it hard, just make our home. And I wanted to quit wrestling to get a job to help pay the bills. My mom refused to let any of us give up. And here I am today, national champion.
I was bigger than my body. I was everything and everyone.
I was no longer a fragment of the universe. I was the universe.
Inescapable that our role while we're at work, we are workers. When we're at home, we're consumers. We're designated roles that prevent us from having an authentic interaction with reality, an authentic experience of ourselves.
You work in order to make money to play. This is insane, because you spend most of the time working. If you don't really value the work, I mean, you're lucky if you've got work that you really enjoy doing. But if you don't really value the work, all you get out of it is money. Then you come home with that and you're supposed to play. They sit and passively watch television. And, but we don't enjoy it. Not really. There's no gusto for it. It's somewhat contradictory. Happiness consists in the possession of things. A lot of people, when they feel inadequate, bored, unfulfilled, try to get rid of this sensation by going shopping. A lot of people spend all their daytime shopping. Yes, the real world now is always unseizable. It's changing. You can't grasp it. There's nothing to hold on to. But that's why it's spiritual. When you lean on it, it collapses. But don't lean on it. Live in it, but don't lean on it. Don't try to hold it. Because in just the same way as when you embrace someone and you try to hold too hard, you squeeze the breath out. And therefore you strangle. So in the same way, you don't grab hold of the world. You can't sense it that way. I cannot feel whatever this is. That the physical world, right here and now, this absolutely concrete moment, is everything that you could ever have imagined the beatific vision to be. This is quite startling, but it's so. If you are really wide awake. It's a kind of a light touch. You let it flow through your fingers. And so by letting life slip, and it's always slipping, it's now ever changing. It's the more it runs, the more it stays. The more it stays, the more it runs. That's the way it is. And if you don't hold on to it, it's always here. If you do hold on to it, it's always running away.
In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful.
I love living. I think that's infectious. It's something that you can't fake.
Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want.